fathers will understand.
I told you he was an awesome dad.
What's up, dudes? Welcome back to Dudela. I'm Michael.
I'm John.
And we're here with Matt Thomas. Matt, thanks so much for joining us.
Good to be here.
Before we get into it, tell us a little bit about you, your family, kind of everything in between.
Born in Texas, moved to Colorado in 2008. Took a job as a dog sledding guide up in Leadville. Cool. Looked around, realized I was not going to get married in Leadville, moved down to Denver. Met my wife in grad school. We've been in Colorado together since 2009, and then moved up into the foothills, Indian Hills and Evergreen, in 2016, and I'm never looked back. 4 kids, daughter 13, son 10, daughter 7, and a daughter turning 5 and starting kindergarten.
All right, congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, as a couple native Coloradans, we normally don't say hello to Texans.
We get it.
But you got here before it was cool, so
Yeah.
we'll give you the pass on that one. From, having 4 kids, what was there a big difference between number 1 and number 4, or were they all kind of, here we go again? Or did you take some lessons that you learned from the first couple?
I'd like to think I got better as we went, but I don't know if that's true. We love kids. And so having 4 was a no-brainer for us, and wasn't always easy, right? Like there were challenges along the way, but I'm really grateful that we had 4 kids. I encourage guys all the time, like, keep going, man. It's just...
So there you go, dude. Get another set of twins and you're done.
2 and done?
Let's go.
And we've been saying 1 and done for a minute.
Yeah, well, now we bump it up to 2 and you'll be set.
The odds are stacked in that big. We got twins on all sides of the family. The odds are high.
Well, good luck.
How are your kids making fun of you these days?
So most recent example would be last night. I take the kids to dinner without mom once a week to give her a quiet house for...
That's a great rhythm.
Well, our house is pretty noisy. I got 4 extroverts for kids. I'm an extrovert. My wife's an extrovert. So it gives her a little bit of time to reset. Yeah. So last night we go out to Indian food. Yeah, I have an Evergreen. And one of my kids got fried shrimp at an Indian place, whatever. Yeah, couldn't get the ketchup bottle open. And I was like, I got this. Let me help you. Around the table, nice dad. And just smoked that ketchup bottle, popped the top off, blasted my 7-year-old all over her face with ketchup, and hit the booth next to us. So nailed it.
Do you have to cover that bill too?
No, I quickly was like, I'm so sorry. It was
It was my 7-year-old.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I just owned it. So thankfully my 7-year-old didn't freak out on me.
That was great.
She was cool about it, but they were giving me grief, much deserved grief.
Yes.
Naturally.
Well, that's part of a good thing of having kids is you do have something to blame,
Yeah.
blame someone. Yeah, exactly. You break a cup and it's like, oh man, this was you did that too. Oh, sorry, Dad.
That's right.
So good. So you've been in Colorado a while. Do you have a go-to adventure in the state?
So I'd say we spend a lot of time in Idaho. So we own an RV park up there, and we spend a big chunk of our summers at that campground, hosting and playing and rivers, fishing, all the things. But yeah, our kids are on the Big Mountain Free Ride team at Loveland, so we're there every Saturday, December through April. We squeeze some trips in to Purgatory and Silverton. Yeah, so Loveland is kind of like a go-to, and now they're on the downhill mountain biking team at Trestle at Winter Park, and so we're there every Saturday in August and September.
Cool.
Yeah, but that's kind of our main thing. We hit rivers when we can, but in Colorado it's gotten so busy, it can
Totally.
Sure. Yeah, they can find your spots.
Yeah, exactly. You mentioned that trailer park up or RV park up in Idaho. What do you do for work?
So I own Marrow. Marrow invests in small businesses and entrepreneurs. And so, we have 10 operating businesses that we have either acquired or launched on our own. Yeah. And then another 6 holding companies. Yeah. That kind of help us keep some order across the portfolio. It's a lot of fun. I love what I get to do.
It's great.
Yeah.
Hey guys, going to pause here real quick to tell you about our friends at Magnolia League. They know firsthand how tight your time is, and the last thing you need is another mess to clean up. So when it comes to skincare, skip the 10-step routines of greasy, messy sunscreens and go with the single tool that helps you look and feel your best. Magnolia League's Ultra Light Age Defense SPF is the ultimate multi-benefit skin solution for dads. With this single product, you get premium anti-aging moisturizer and high-performance mineral sunscreen that's super light and dries instantly. And serious, it does. It is not greasy. It's not gross. Your hands feel back to normal right away. Magnolia League was founded by a new dad and for dads, so they thought every little detail mattered. Sleek and durable airless packing makes it easier for you to take, apply in the car, on a hike, on the golf course, wherever you're at, with no mess. I'm serious. It is the best. I use Magnolia League all the time on the golf course, out hiking, wherever I'm going in the Colorado sun. So protect your skin one day at a time with Magnolia League, with the premium SPF skincare tool for busy dads. Add it to your toolkit and get 20% off at magnolialeague.com with code DADSKINCARE in all caps. Once again, that's DAD Skincare, all caps. Go to Magnolia League, like the NFL.com, Dad Skincare in all caps for 20% off. We love our guys at Magnolia League. I use it every single day, and you guys should too. Now, back to the pod.
So back towards like who you are as a father now, are there any lessons that you for sure wanted your kids to know by the time that they're, in high school or going on to be young adults? Like what are you kind of focused on as far as teaching them?
Totally. So I felt early on my chief responsibility as a dad was to prepare my kids to go out into the world and know how to live. Like that was the simplest version, or the highest calling in the simplest version of what I should be focused on. Prepare them to leave my house at 18, not come back. Like I've told my kids, your 18th birthday, what you get, is a walk to the front door and a hug. Because I have lots of friends whose kids have moved back into that house, and COVID wrecked that for a lot of people. But yeah, that's like the primary focus or overarching focus is preparing them for adulthood. Yeah, and then there are 3 things we hammer pretty consistently with our kids. One, humans aren't built for fame, right? So young people today care more about YouTube, notoriety, and all of those things, and we just are like, hey, that's all ash. Like that's not. There's no substance there. That's not actually going to help your life. It's not you leveraging your gifts for any good. So don't pursue that. Right. The second thing is that it's not good for us to have the internet in our pockets, and so just setting real clear boundaries around. Smartphones for sure, but like just internet access in general. It's like, hey, this is a powerful thing that like should be leveraged for good, but it is often an incredibly harmful thing for young people. Yeah. So we talk openly about it, but we have some pretty firm boundaries around those things. Our kids won't have smartphones ever in our home, right? They'll get a flip phone when they turn 16, and they've kind of rallied around that as it's cool now.
Yeah.
It's not a huge deal. Yeah, and I don't have a smartphone, so it's like, we're trying to model that in our and then the third thing is, say we're just not really interested in what other families are doing, right? Because you'll hear this as your kids get older, like so and so got a whatever for Christmas, or so and so gets to the It's like I just could care less, right? Like their family values are not our family values. Their challenges that they're facing either in their marriage or home or whatever is not the same as ours. Like. We're doing things the best way we can, and we're not pretending like this is the only way. It's the best way we know how. Yeah, but we're not going to get confused or, feel let outside pressure in like you should, right? Like we say all the time, like don't let people should on you.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be doing this. You should be doing this.
Don't let people shit on you.
Yeah, it's like you're doing the best you can, right? And we're thoughtful and prayerful about how we're doing this stuff, and we're under no illusion all 4 of our kids probably need therapy funds, right? Like. Because we'll jack something up.
Totally, sure.
Right? It's going to happen. But yeah, we're just not like they've learned. Like, don't bring so and so gets to blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, we're just not going to do that dance. So those are 3 big ones. I mean, ultimately, I want my kids to know who they are. I want them to have a clear understanding of how they've been gifted and wired, and then go leverage that for good in whatever setting or context. Right? I could care less if they are entrepreneurs or artists or leading nonprofit. It doesn't matter to me, right? Just so they know who they are, right? They're not capitulating to who people say they should be or look like. Yeah. And they go out in the world ready to live, right? That's my job, and it flies. So we're trying to make the most of it.
I love that. Like that's so cool. And I'm reading the Anxious Generation right now, and a lot of it is centered kind of around how technology and the smartphone really like ruined a generation.
Yeah.
And how I think there's going to be kind of a movement to kind of like dial things back, but we're so far into it that it's so hard to figure out how to dial it back. And yeah, I mean, there are a lot of days where I wish I could just have a flip phone, right? And I love it. It's so cool that you are able to, your kids are also on board and like understand, like, yeah, this is the way it goes.
Sure.
One big piece of that book was essentially like, all right, if you're going to fight culture, you need a team. You need people on board with you.
Totally.
And it even talked about some strategies about like, okay, if you're going to be a non-smartphone family, why don't you and your neighborhood, like your 5 families, like at least they're not alone, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to school and you're the only kid without a phone, maybe that's difficult. But if you got 5 friends, you guys can take on the world.
For sure.
So how do you like gather community in midst of having core family values? Like, what does community look like for you as a dad? Like, are there people that you get poured into by, or a cohort of people that you kind of get challenged by?
For sure. So I could go all the way back to when I was 17. I've never not had a mentor or mentors. Like, there's never been a gap there. So always have an older man or men that I meet with regularly, and it's usually lunch. Like, I have a twice a month lunch with the guy who's also an investor in our businesses, but is just a dear friend and mentor, has been for 10 years. And half the time, we covered the business stuff, but half the time it's just like, here's what's going on in marriage. Here's what's going on with my kids. Here's what I'm dealing with internally. And it's just helping me navigate that stuff. And so to me, that's just a non-negotiable. And I think there's this illusion that like those people don't exist. That's like phooey, man. Like, they're everywhere and they got nothing but time.
Yeah.
But young people don't take the initiative to go seek them out and just ask, like, hey, would you be up for lunch? Can I take you to lunch and pick your brain? Right. So mentors and then peers. My wife and I both are rich in friendship. And like, I look at our friend group and I just feel like the luckiest guy in the world.
Wow.
I mean, my best friend of 20 years since freshman year of college, lives right down the hill from us. We have only not been in the same city for 6 months in the last 20 years. And we do life together. His kids I've known since they were born. They're friends with our kids. We have similar values. And we're just aligned, right? But there's other families where that's true as well. And I just don't think, I don't think men put enough of a premium on intimate friendship, like real friendship with other guys, right? They hang out, they go to happy hours, they do work type stuff, but like really digging in with other guys. So I've been a part of a CEO cohort for 5 years. So I meet with 5 other guys, similar age, doing similar things in work, similar convictions about our families. We meet once a month. I've got a group of younger guys that I invest in, 9 guys or 10. We're actually taking them all on an overnight rafting trip tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, we do a 2-year program with them. It's free. We just say, hey, we want to help you navigate being a new dad. They all have young kids, right? Being a dad. Like, don't blow up your marriage. Here's 7 things, right? Here's how you navigate growing a business or growing your career or whatever. And so it's kind of like all this stuff was given freely to me, and now I give that away. And we do that with our kids too, right? It's like we've been blessed with input from very wise people, right? And so now we just give that stuff away. I mean, anything you hear me say on this podcast is a version of something that was given to me, right?
Yeah.
Like not any of it's totally original,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I think just being really intentional with that stuff, and it makes it easy with the kids. Like when we have some interesting family values or things that we're committed to, they don't seem that crazy when our friends are doing something.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, as you're talking about guys just kind of having more real friendships, like it's true. Like some of my, best friends, like we still talk about stuff, but like 90% of the stuff we talk about is sports or whatever, right? And like, but a lot of my other friends, we don't really ever talk about, the hard stuff, right? And you talk about things that are comfortable and similar interests, and that's kind of how a lot of guys kind of function. But it is important to have that space and that, a group of guys that you trust that you can bring stuff to, because life's going to come at you and you're going to have a problem at some point that you need some guys in your corner.
Totally. I mean, and then even with those systems, it's still really difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had 5 or 6 guys blow up their marriage in the last 2 years, guys that I know well.
Yeah.
So you still have to be the one who takes the initiative to be vulnerable.
Totally.
And to be honest, right, about what's going on. And I think guys get transparency and vulnerability confused, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, transparency, I've heard described as a currency of power, because you can decide how transparent you want to be.
Yeah.
And then someone could perceive you as being vulnerable, but it's not actual vulnerability where you're taking a meaningful risk, right? That someone may not like you, listen to you, want to hang out with you anymore because of the thing you just shared.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that journey into vulnerability as a practice for young guys is life or death.
Wow. Yeah, that's
So fresh.
no, that's great stuff. Though. Like really good to think about. And
Well, and people, I mean, what you're just saying, like I've sat around a lot of small group circles, a lot of church group gatherings and such. And it's like, I mean, I've done it myself too. Shared just enough to feel like you're being real, but at the end of the day, you know, it's not quite everything, or you know that you're looking at them thinking that seemed real, but I feel like there's still something going on.
Yeah, you got a version of the tree.
Yeah. Or just like a flavoring of it. Yeah. So, but you're saying like the more real you are, that's where freedom lies.
Mm-hmm. And it takes one guy, right? And in the circle of friends, if one guy starts to practice genuine vulnerability, right? Yeah, it's just amazing. Like other guys will start to open up and be honest about stuff. Because a lot of guys, like in your stage of parenting, are miserable and don't want to admit it.
totally.
They're like, I actually ate this.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to have a wife who was, smoking hot and into me, and now she's tired and focused on the baby and not interested. Like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then some guys love it. They're just built for it. Right. Yeah. But they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Right. And so they just kind of suffer in silence. And then they have another kid. And this time it's even worse.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Well, because you never want to admit that you don't like being a dad, right? Like that's like the worst. That sounds like the worst possible thing. But like at the same time, it's also the hardest thing you've probably done in your life at that point.
Totally.
Like it is, especially that early stage where you're not sleeping. You like literally your life is revolving around this, 7-pound thing that literally can't do anything, and your wife is miserable. You're miserable, and it like, it's hard. But you don't want to admit like, no, this isn't it, because you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of them out there.
Yep.
A lot of them out there.
Yep.
For sure.
Changing gears just a little bit, although it is along those same lines of this idea of risk. You write a lot on your LinkedIn, kind of stories about your adventures with your family. You guys just went to a month-long trip in Idaho and experienced a ton of fun adventures out there.
Yeah.
So I saw one post where the idea of, I think you wrote about manufactured risk. What does that look like as like being a dad and creating some risk for your kids? And
Totally.
what does that look like?
So I think manufactured risk is actually not helpful for kids. You have to expose them to actual risk.
Yeah.
And so manufactured risk would be like in this day and age, it'd be like, well, we let Johnny ride his bike to school, right? Which like back in the day, that's just how you got to school. And now it's like neighborhoods aren't totally safe. So we're going to let him, or we're going to do a little experiment, give Johnny a $20 bill and say, go to 7-Eleven and buy something.
Yeah.
It's like, that's manufactured. Like that's not real risk. Like you have to prepare your kids for actual risk and then dump them off the deep end into it, equipped, right, to navigate it, right, to assess the risk, to mitigate it, and come out stronger and more confident, because things are going to go sideways. This is part of why like we're deeply committed to mountain sports. Our kids are on the big mountain free ride team at Loveland, so they're jumping off cliffs and climbing peaks with skis on their back and learning about avalanche hazards. And they're also on the downhill mountain biking team at Trestle, right? They crash 2-3 times a Saturday, go over the handlebars. It's real risk. There's nothing manufactured about it, right? And we do 3 to 5 ER visits a year, right? Which some moms would be like,
No way.
like,
No way.
But what it's teaching our kids is like, you're going to find out what you're capable of.
Yeah.
You're going to fail, which is such a good thing. Like failure is such a good thing. And so many parents are trying to shield their kids from failing. But man, like my daughter, my 13, she'll hate that I share the story. My 13-year-old and my son, my 10-year-old, were kayaking Browns King. It's class 3 run, super fun. We did it a couple weeks ago. My daughter is like dialed. My son is wild. Like he's used to flipping. He likes it, swimming rapid. My daughter never has because she's just doing everything perfect. She gets dumped in Zoom flume. And I was like Yes, because like that moment of failure is going to be, it's going to be such a turning point.
Yeah.
Like understanding, hey, I can screw up and it's okay, right? I had what it takes to get out of this hairy situation and didn't die.
Mhm.
That sometimes we've been accused of like being reckless on this front, like putting them in too risky of situations. But I'm like, you know what? I want to find out where that edge is.
Yeah.
Right. And go all the way up to it, because these lessons that our kids are learning, right, they're going to pay lifelong dividends for sure for whatever they do. So manufactured risk to me is like a lot of what you see happening in culture, right? Trampoline parks and, just different things that are like, they're controlled environments. I think you have to prepare your kids mentally, physically, and emotionally, even spiritually, for actual risk, because that is where all of the good stuff happens. So that's my.
What does that look like for a new dad or a dad to be? You know, is it just mindset and preparedness, or is it actually like, what do I do with my 10-month-old babies? How do I?
You get them outside.
Yeah.
Or you loop them into the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean,
I am planning on putting them on skis this winter.
You should.
That is my
plan. Get it. I mean, we had all of our kids on skis when they were 2.
Yeah.
And, they fumbled their way down the mountain, but now they're skiing stuff that makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Right? So like, I think you do those things, right? A lot of guys, like the biggest danger is in doing nothing, right? It's not doing the wrong thing. It's just in doing nothing. And maybe next year or maybe next season or whatever else. Like if you have an idea that's got you stoked, act on it with the kid.
Yeah.
I think, and it could just be a hike, right?
Yeah.
It could be putting them on skis a little too early. Like, okay, right? Like my kids could tell you stories of like me exposing them to things that they just were not ready for, right? Or putting them on a bike that was too big, or like, hey, you can ride a dirt bike, you're 4. Like, no. And they lay it down, right? Like, there's a lot of that, right? And which is why we have VR visits, but now they're growing into competent young people. Yeah. Right? And they've been exposed to actual risk. So I think you can start, when they're newborns, right? It's just looping them into the things you want to do and acting on those harebrained ideas. The real trick is being persuasive with your spouse.
Yeah.
So she's not freaked out.
Yeah. Are there things that aren't as like physical as like risks that you're kind of talking about? Like
totally. Like we took our kids, we took all 4 to Nicaragua in June.
Okay.
Right? So my wife last year was like, hey, like we need to do an international experience. And I think she was thinking like Italy or something.
Yeah.
I want to drink wine on the mountain coast.
Yeah, we're going. Well, I was like, no, we're going to go to a third world country, right? So Nicaragua is the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. We have some relationships down there, and we loaded up our kids and we took them down there, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
walking through like the market in Grenada,
totally,
right? Which is hard to describe unless you've been there, right? Like it is crazy, and they were walking right there with us, right? So that was more of an emotional experience, right? Seeing like true poverty up close and personal, and not being in a position to do anything about it, which is what we wanted. Right? We didn't go down there to build a house. We went down there to hear the stories and expose our kids to a completely different life, right? So there's risk involved.
Yeah,
we had friends that went down a week before and they got booted out of the country.
Wow,
because it's on the U.S. says don't go down. So
wow,
yeah. But there's also emotional risk with kids, right? Like opening yourself up, sharing stories from where you messed up or where you learned or whatever else. Like a lot of parents, older parents, never talk about like where they screwed up, right? Or where they blew it. And I think this younger generation has an opportunity to be really honest with their kids. Like, hey, life is hard, and this is where I blew it. This is what I learned. You to do.
Yeah. You talked about failure. Is there like, from a dad perspective, failure is good, right? What about on your end? Has there been a time where you like have felt like, that was not it? And then how do you recover from
So I won't give you the whole story because I just met you guys.
Absolutely.
So the short version is when my 2 oldest were really young, I just wasn't there. Like I wasn't present, wasn't engaged. And there were a lot of factors there. But long story short, had to completely reset my life, right? And coming out of that season, which was insanely dark, where I blew it on multiple fronts, right? Just was absent, not engaged, messed with work, all the things. And dealt with just a ton of real life or death challenges.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was going to lose my family, and by God's grace, came out of that season with a second chance. And I remember a moment that when I had a conversation with my boy, he was real little, and he asked me a question that like, it brought into focus for me, like, I'm not done. Like I'm not finished.
Yeah.
I can get up off the mat and make the most of these years with my kids and my other two kids that came behind him.
Yep.
And so,
Wow.
yeah, it was a pretty significant turning point for me. And frankly, it was all grace, right? I have an unbelievable wife. I mean, truly an unbelievable human leader, woman, mom, all the things, who stood with me through that season of enormous pain, and said, let's go. Like we're gonna start over and do this.
That's amazing.
So we feel like we're playing with house money. and that's part of why our kids say all the time, like, we go hard, let's keep doing it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing. I mean, but that's so cool to kind of have that perspective, because I'm sure that has shifted, a lot of the way that you are, doing what you do now.
Totally.
Yeah. As a dad and as a businessman, like
Sure.
what you choose to invest in and how you choose to do it,
No doubt.
the freedom that you have when you do it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really cool. That's great. Well, it's been amazing talking to you, learning from you, hearing about your stories with your kids. We typically try to wrap these up with some kind of rapid fire questions, some kind of lighthearted. Like
Sure is.
first thing that kind of comes to your mind. Okay. So,
Brevity is not a strength. I got you.
oh no, you're fine. You're fine. We've had experienced all lenses of that. So first question, rapid fire. After the kids go down, what's your favorite dad snack?
Well, I'm usually asleep before then. That's the honest answer. So
Fair enough. What time is bedtime?
8:30.
8:30. Okay. All right. What time do you get up?
4.
4.
Good.
That's a
I'm a 9:30 to 5, so maybe I need to just switch his act a little bit. Yeah, 15 minutes back, and we'll be.
Yeah. Years.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there a household chore that you actually enjoy?
I love doing dishes.
Really?
Yeah. My wife thinks I hate it, but I actually see. I just want my kids to do it.
Yeah. So
We have 4 humans. They're like, let's spread this.
spread it. Yeah, you're at the point now where they need to start doing a little something.
It's just satisfying. Like when you finish dishes, it's like, it's good.
Yeah.
Is there a kid movie that you actually enjoy?
I mean, Sandlot. I can watch anytime, ever. I mean, I love Sandlot.
I watched Sandlot with Riley when she was 3 months old.
Yeah.
I think that was, the first movie that I watched with her.
It's incredible.
I did the same thing. I said, hey, Abs, you go up and you go back to sleep. I'll take her.
Okay.
And then turned on Sandlot and walked her through everything and told her, who was who. And so,
Dottie Smalls, baby.
It gets more fun, though, when you can start, like, showing your kids gliding.
yeah.
Band of brothers.
Oh, so you just, yeah.
All right.
All the good stuff that's not, Pixar.
Yeah.
That's great. Is there any underrated skill that every dad needs to know?
Patience and listening. I mean, that combination, like, not all dads are naturally gifted to that. I'm definitely not, but it just pays dividends. Like the returns on being patient and being listening. Yeah, off the charts.
If you could take your family anywhere tomorrow, I know you're taking other people somewhere tomorrow, but if you could take your family anywhere tomorrow, where would you go?
Alaska. Yeah, I mean, they've had tons of, big mountain experience, skiing, hunting, fishing, rafting. And Alaska is like the mecca.
The spot.
That. So, yeah, but if we go up there, we probably won't come back.
It's a special place up there. Yeah. Recommend go check out the grizzly bears at Kenai.
Yeah.
It'd
be sweet.
Life-changing.
Yeah.
Wild. Well, it's been great. Thank you for your advice, for your wisdom, for your time. It's been really great to get to know you.
Good to be here. Excited about what you guys are doing.
Awesome. Do you have any kind of final advice for any dads that are expecting or in the throes of it? Any final word?
Yeah, I'd say the 2 years around birth, so the year leading up, right? Like, trying to get pregnant sex can be fantastic. Mm-hmm. So it gets stressful.
Yep.
But whenever you make that transition and they get pregnant, like everything, you got 9 months of pregnancy, really, that's hard. It's just hard. There are sweet times, but it's hard. Birth happens. It's like this epic moment, right? Yeah, that is hard to describe and irreplaceable, but then it's more hard, right? Yeah, and then it gets better. But it's really 2 years. I tell dads, you need to buckle up for 2 years of difficulty, and just dig in and stay present, stay in the game, because it gets really sweet. And you don't want to be the dad who checked out, which I wasn't totally locked in the first couple of years of my first two, and I had deep regret over that. Right? So we're making up for lost time, but you don't have to do that, right? Yeah. So 2 years, it's going to be hard. For the most part, there will be sweet things, but dig in, buckle up, because it's a season.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much, Matt. It was awesome talking to you, and thanks for sharing some knowledge with us. And we'll be in touch.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Daddy out! Dad!
It's a lot of lights, Dad.
You fathers will understand.
I told you he was an awesome dad.